Welcome back, horror fans, to the Week in Horror podcast. We hope y'all had an amazing Halloween. This week we're covering November 8th through November 14th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Eugene. With me is JL and special guest host who has become part of the Week in Horror family, Johnny O from the Plot Hole.
Yeah, I'm special.
How's it going? Yes, you are. You are very special to us. What is this? What is this your sixth time on the show?
Yeah, sixth episode, yeah.
Ooh, big number 6.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't ask me to talk about They Live.
I do apologize for that. I know They Live is one of your absolute favorite movies. You've got the whole thing memorized.
Yeah, start to finish.
We know in our hearts. We know in our hearts that fight scene is still going on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But it was really, really tight, and I didn't want to put the stress of like 3 other films on you. Because I think we had like 1 or 2 obscure ones in there.
Which ones were they?
Let's
see. Hell House?
Hell House LLC, Frailty, and Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. So yeah, I think there was 2 obscure ones. So yeah. Hell House LLC and Frailty. I was pretty sure you hadn't seen, or it'd been so long because Frailty came out in like 2001.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen Frailty, and then Hell House. I know I've seen Hell House. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So no, like I said, I get it. I saw the episode and I started listening to it. Man.
Well, I mean, to hell, you've incorporated it into the plot hole.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It is my all-time favorite. I guess horror film. I don't really consider it a horror film, but
would you say John Carpenter film?
Yeah, that was my favorite John Carpenter film.
Nice. Okay, I can see that.
Right.
Sweet.
So it's definitely a toss-up between those two, The Thing and They Live.
I love everything they do. I just fucking Carpenter. I've always loved the way he subverted the genre and did something new and really his horror, like in his horror stuff, really scared people. It was just great stuff. But Angela jumped in and she knocked it out of the park. She was awesome to have on the show. But yeah, it's awesome having you back 6 times. So yeah, I think you are officially a part of the Week in Horror family. You are. We say special guest host for this point on. Whenever you're on number 7, which is virtually guaranteed.
Yep.
You're a host now. So to everybody listening, Johnny O is officially a host of Week in Horror.
Yay!
So it'll no longer. It'll just be I'm Eugene, and with me as always is JL and Johnny O.
Woohoo.
So
I like that. I'm like,
awesome.
Let's see here. It's like you guys are the 3 Stooges, and I'm either Shemp or Joe.
Okay, wait. So let me guess. In this analogy, Alex is Curly.
Right.
No, Alex is there's Larry, Moe, and Curly. So Alex is Larry.
No, you would have to be Larry.
No, Larry
Moe,
was the
yeah, Larry. Yeah. Alex is Larry in this one. Yeah,
Alex is Larry, and I think Eugene is Moe.
I can see that. I was thinking Mo.
Yeah.
And I think it's a trade-off. I think I'm Curly and you're Shemp.
Yeah. Because nobody really likes
that.
Joe.
Yeah, you're Shemp. I'm Curly. Because when I died, you took over and did an amazing job. And Alex is Larry, just kind of, the guy in the middle.
Yep.
And then Mo is definitely Eugene.
Is it because he's black?
What? I was like, you know what? You probably blew some people's minds. There were people there who probably didn't know that Eugene was black. Yeah. They're like, what?
I was thinking the same thing. Somebody was like, wait, what? I've been listening to this show for a year.
Anymore.
I thought this was a bunch of white guys talking about horror. They've spoiled everything.
It's that Dave Chappelle skit all over again.
It's so true. And this is awesome. I love having Johnny on because Johnny makes it effortless, and you're funny as fuck, dude. And I love how we're able to just put it together and play off of each other. You make it a lot of fun.
These are a lot of fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no dig to Alex.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, you should do a show with all 4 of us once, just because we make it a giant train wreck.
That would be amazing. Jessica G would have no end of shit to talk.
Oh, fucking hell. She would be all over that one.
Oh, right. Well, we have we actually have a bunch of stuff before we dive into the movies we're going to talk about. So a bunch of things have hit. And I do want to say that we are adding something new to the website. I know I didn't put it here in the script of the things that we want to hit, but we are adding something new. We are going to be adding RSS feeds from the best sites that report news and horror, so that whenever you visit our site, you can get those feeds. We're going to have that RSS feed. We are setting that up as we speak. And so all that great news, you won't have to go and hunt and find it. You can find it at us at weekinhorror.net.
So by all horror film news or horror news, you mean sites like CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC?
No, there's a difference between that and sites that just report horrifying news.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. We laugh because it's true. But we will be setting it up for you guys. So when you check out that website, look for that new edition coming. We thought it was a really cool thing to add because we do hit these things in the previous week, but there's so much good stuff coming out there and so many movies that you may not have heard of. We want to be able to get that information to you ASAP because I love getting feedback from the listeners that we are able to recommend movies that they can watch. One of the people who commented on the latest video, said he's finally going to break down and watch Maniac, and I was like, because we reference Maniac a lot. Apparently, we constantly go back to that one, and I was like, yes, watch that movie. Watch the original. With Lord, I always forget his fucking name, and Jessica G is going to give me shit for it.
Yep. You've already lost points.
Yes, you will. But yes, watch the original from 1981, and then watch the new one with Elijah Wood. So definitely do that. But yeah, so a bunch of cool stuff. So we're gonna get you that news. We're just gonna bring that in. It's gonna be a new little addition to the site. First big thing. So there was a new Halloween Kills teaser.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is. It's a shame because originally the movie was supposed to come out this year. So the movie's completed, sitting on a hard drive somewhere in some studio vault or something like that. But at the very least, they give us a little bit of something. Because it's like 30 seconds, something like that. It's not very long.
Yeah, it was quick.
But, it looks so good.
I don't know. I don't see how Michael Myers could have gotten out of that.
I'm very curious myself how the hell he got out of that basement. Oh, Joe Spinell. Shit. It just hit me. From Maniac.
Oh.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Sorry. Yeah, squirrel. Yes, definitely. Yes. Joe Spinell. Sorry about that. But yes.
But that mask should have been melted to his face.
It should have been. Obviously, we see that he takes it off in the teaser, and we do see that it's damaged, and it looks like it's kind of fucked up from the fire.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it's going to be, and that may be one of the things that makes or break the movie, is that if they're willing to go into this weird extreme area, or if they go smart, and it was something that was set up that we may not have noticed in the first film. That we may not have just glimpsed it because the action was very, very heavy in the basement. So maybe it's just something that they may have glimpsed, because this thing has been well planned out for these 3 films. So it may have been something that we just didn't see that they may go back to. So something like that. I know we have no idea, but I'm excited for it.
Jamie Lee Curtis had one of those Clyde trains underneath, going to different rooms in the high security prison.
Who knows?
That's what it is.
Yeah, some kind of tunnel that she dug under there.
Tunneling system, and then Michael Myers says, "Hey, check this out. This is like train. I like trains."
I legitimately think he's going to bust his way up through the floor.
But he was suffocated with all that fire that eats up all the oxygen. Well,
True.
I'm getting too real.
I mean, he's going to get out of there because
we need to suspend disbelief. I know I need to suspend disbelief.
No, I'm just saying, he's going to get out of there because he's Michael fucking Myers.
Well, yeah. It's because Paul Rudd completed the ritual.
Because he's well fucking hard, that's why. So we're literally looking forward to that. Unfortunately, not coming out this year because of the log allergy situation out there. Thank you, Creaky Blinder, for that reference.
Yep.
So hopefully when it does come out, it will not disappoint. I don't think that it will. I think it'll be amazing. Also, Jordan Peele is producing a new People Under the Stairs.
I didn't know they were making a movie about my ancestors.
Well, look at that! They brought Tongueless Joe onto the show again. I think that came out of left field. This came out of left field, like Chris Rock producing the new Saw film came out of left field.
Yeah. Well, so Jordan Peele is in the interesting position right now because of the success of his last two films, Get Out and
Us.
Us.
Right, Us. Where he's riding that wave where he can pretty much pick whatever project he wants to do, and he'll get backed. He'll get the funding for it. So he needs to continue to ride that. If he can get these passion projects out, man, that's more power to him.
Yeah, and plus with coming from the producing side, you can easily produce multiple films in 1 year. So he can go and set it up and put all the pieces in place to how he wants it to be made. And then the director goes off and actually just makes it. And so he can sit there and have 4 or 5 different movies and all these remakes that he wants to do to come out in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yep. So that'll be interesting. I wouldn't have thought that somebody would have tapped that old. That's an excellent little Wes Craven film. I like The People Under the Stairs because the characters in it were amazing. Mm-hmm. Two of them they took 2 of them from Twin Peaks, which is just great because they were both crazy on Twin Peaks. They're both crazy in this one. Gotcha! I got him! 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 He's such a psycho. Oh God, he was running around in his gimp outfit. That was great. It'll be interesting to see what take Jordan Peele and what Monkey Paw brings to that production. That'll be kind of interesting. It's just kind of odd. It's just so weird. And unfortunately, some bad news. And I know everybody out there has already heard, but we were going to take a quick moment to remember the legendary Sean Connery, who passed away recently.
Oh my God! You talk about people like you grow up with.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're always there, and there are so many amazing movies, and so many times I look forward to going to the theater seeing him.
Yep. There were movies I went to see just because he was in them. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'd ever been disappointed by a Sean Connery performance, and just his excellence in just what he brought to every production he was in is what led me to some of his older stuff like The Hill and Murder on the Orient Express. Such magnificent work, no matter who he was working with. That was one of the greatest things was the chemistry that he had with pretty much everybody. Finding Forrester, absolutely.
Talk about chemistry. He and was it Antonio Brown? What was his name? Something Brown, right? Gosh.
The kid?
Yeah.
His name escapes me at the moment, but he was great. I mean, just like I said, the chemistry has it.
Rob Brown was his name.
Even voicing a CGI dragon. He has chemistry.
Yeah.
He has chemistry with Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
How is that? How is that for fucking acting?
I forgot about that movie too.
Oh, Dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, brutal.
God
but
damn,
yeah, like
Busta Rhymes got fat. Sorry, I was looking at the cast of Finding Forrester and Busta Rhymes. I was like, God, that can't be Busta. Motherfucker, that dude's fat. Anyway.
Busta's gonna call. He's gonna call the show.
Busta, hey,
the fuck you say?
Hey, what do you call me, man? You ain't so skinny yourself. That's a terrible Busta Rhymes.
It's a god awful loss.
That one hurt when my father sent me a text. My father and I don't know if it's like his game that we play that we have to tell the other one who died today. I don't know what it is, but like whenever
that's a terrible game.
Yeah, right. I don't get it. Like I said, it's not fun. But I'll wake up and read the news and somebody, this person passed away, and I'll whip my phone out and send my father a text like, hey, this guy passed away.
Let me guess. You tell him actors who passed away. He tells you musicians who passed away.
It's a combination of the two, right? So
Okay.
it's just whoever gets.
Because that'd be given your music background, that would be terrible. It's like you wake up, oh hey, David Bowie passed away. What the hell?
God damn it, Dad! At least wait till I've had coffee.
hey! Who was that? Who was that guy? That guitarist, really, really awesome dude. Wore the cool, like, kind of union hat. Lenny something. Yeah, Lenny Kilmister. He's freaking amazing. Yeah, he died today.
He died today.
Bitch.
Actually, I actually told my father that when Lemmy passed, I was like, "Oh, Lemmy passed." He goes, "Who's that?" I said, "It's fucking God." What the fuck do you mean, who's that?
Lemmy. Fuck.
Yeah. But Sean Connery, my goodness, I haven't seen. I mean, I've seen one bad Sean Connery film. We all know what that is.
Yep.
But he wasn't bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He wasn't bad,
No,
and it was a shame that he went out on that movie.
Yeah. How shitty is that? If I'm a director and I make a movie so bad that Sean Connery, one of the most legendary actors to ever grace the screen, says, "Fuck this, I quit."
Yeah, beloved and respected.
Yeah.
For his body of work. I mean, Marnie is still one of my favorite Sean Connery films of all. Just his chemistry and his work across from Tippi Hedren was just stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Just the nuance he brought, especially in his youth. And of course, he was the quintessential Bond. He set the bar for James Bond.
Yeah, there haven't been too many Bonds. I mean, Pierce Brosnan was okay. This new guy, what's his name?
Daniel Craig.
Not a fan of Daniel Craig as Bond.
I thought he was good in Casino Royale.
Yeah, Casino Royale was
he
really
in
good.
Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was because the movie was good, not because Daniel Craig was good.
And he was surrounded. I mean, hell, you have Dame Judi Dench, you've got Ava Green, you've got Mads Mikkelsen. So just star power all around.
Right. And then Roger Moore was good. He was a good Bond. But
Roger Moore was good. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when you think James Bond, you automatically, anybody who's been in the James Bond game for a while goes to Sean Connery.
Why pussy?
My pusher.
Oh man, and of course, and I know I may piss some people off with this one, but come on, Zardoz. Zardoz speaks to you.
I thought that the Last Crusade. Talk about.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you thinking about
chemistry.
when you think about Indiana Jones's dad, it's like, who could you possibly play? And then Sean Connery comes out, and you're like, yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Count to 10. In Greek.
In Greek, yeah.
When he just, I think the moment in that, and he was like, "God damn it, Dad!" and he just smacks him, he just pops him right in the face.
Oh Jesus
and that,
Christ! Pow!
Oh yes, Jesus Christ! Pow! And then the look on Ford's face.
Yeah.
You can't. That was beautiful, and just that's for blasphemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that even at their ages. And I mean,
I totally believe them as father and son.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
they had the chemistry. Absolutely.
I simply remembered my Charlemagne. Let my armies be the rocks and the and the birds in the sky. It's like, yeah, your dad is still teaching you shit, my friend.
Uh-huh. Yep.
God, he was so good.
Yep.
Entrapment, he was fantastic. I mean, we could go up and down his filmography all damn day. I thought he was one of the
show about that.
one of the best parts of The Rock.
And nothing.
He was the only part of The Rock that was good.
He was
if it
so
wasn't
good.
for Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage sinks The Rock.
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot. Oh, so great. But yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. He did leave a legendary filmography behind him. If you're one of our younger listeners, what the hell are you doing listening to this fucking show? But if you are one of our younger listeners, definitely take the time to check out the filmography of one of the greatest actors to ever grace the screen of this and the previous the previous generation. Whether it's Bond or whether it's his war films or his crime thrillers like Rising Sun or God, there was another one that
No,
I think there was
I'm
one.
talking about the one he won the Academy Award for, The Untouchables.
The Untouchables. Check out The Untouchables with Kevin Costner and Andy Garcia when he's sitting there elevating their performances. And of course, Robert De Niro, one of the most badass roles he's ever been in.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that table scene. Just because you knew the shit was about to hit the fan.
He just picks up the baseball bat and just...
It was just, baseball! Hey! And now you're fucking dead.
Yep.
Finish your goddamn meals. But Al is his brains. But anyway, but just great stuff. I mean, yeah, that's the Chicago way. I fucking love that shit. God damn. He was good. But definitely take the time to go and check out his filmography. He left for any actors out there who may not be totally familiar with him, get familiar because you could learn leagues from his work. Yes.
You could learn leagues from that extraordinary gentleman.
Slow clap for that one. That was
you
nice,
set it up.
Nice
I'll give you credit for it.
All right, and the last thing we want to remind people of on a bit of a happier note, on the last episode that we currently dropped it because we record these shows in the middle of the week, so we just dropped an episode on YouTube. It is episode, I think that was
episode 6. Yeah,
206?
episode 6.
206, yeah. Episode 6 of Season 2 just dropped on YouTube. Be sure to get over there, check that out. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and like and comment on that video, that particular video. We will be doing a drawing at the end of the week before this episode drops on YouTube. We will be doing a drawing on the 10th for our copy of Trivial Pursuit Ultimate Horror Edition. So we will be giving that away to a lucky listener. All you have to do is pop on over to our YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that like, drop us a comment, and we typically respond to every comment we get because we love you guys. And you could win our copy of Trivial Pursuit Ultimate Horror Edition. Please win this thing because if you don't, I'm going to keep it and I'm just going to be sitting in my office reading Trivial Pursuit cards.
You think he's kidding?
Because I was
Not kidding.
I was fucking tempted. I saw this thing. It was like, oh my god! I could literally just open it and just read Trivial Pursuit cards, and I would be a god. I will have all the.
What we need to do is we need to get the four of us together and get another copy of that and just break it open, sealed, right?
Oh shit, yes.
Yeah.
We need to do that on a live stream. Absolutely.
Well, I was going to say either a live stream or a video, whatever, and that would be awesome.
We could get the four of us together and we could play it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really awesome. That would be so fucking cool.
That'd be so much fun.
So definitely, but pop over to the channel and check that out. And good luck to whoever, to all of you. And hopefully we will probably most likely announce a winner on the next episode. So definitely check that out. That'd be really, really cool. Fuck, man. So
yeah,
I think that's it. That's all I've got.
That's it. Yeah,
That's all the stuff. That's all the diabetes.
4 hours later, now we're ready to get to
yeah, that's it. All right, well, thank you for listening, everybody. I'd just like to thank you.
Jessica G's over in the chat. Where the fuck are the movies?
Oh, we're supposed to do movies.
Oh, yeah. The people actually...
Oh, god damn, I've got fucking notes here and shit.
Oh, yeah. So actually... All right. So, what you've actually have been waiting for... JL, what do we got first?
Yes. So we will jump into our first film. This one is a fairly recent one, released November 8th, 2019, and it is Dr. Sleep. Really, really good film. So, directed by Mike Flanagan and with a screenplay by Mike Flanagan, based on the novel Dr. Sleep by Stephen King, starring Ewan McGregor, Rebecca Ferguson, Kylie Curran, and Cliff Curtis. This movie was... In my opinion, this Stephen King adaptation was amazing. Okay, the basic plot summary is, I think 30 years. 30 years after the events of The Shining, Danny Torrance, the little boy from that, has all grown up and is kind of living a very mundane life as a nursing home orderly. He still kind of uses his Shining, but he reduces the effect of The Shining on his life by drinking very, very heavily. And so time has gone by, and then he encounters a little girl who has an incredibly powerful ability to shine. Her shining ability is incredibly powerful. And that leads him into this fight for survival against this cult of people that actually track down, kill, and feed off the shining abilities of people, especially children. Very, very evil people, led by the amazing Rebecca Ferguson in one of the best roles I've ever seen her in, as Rose the Hat. God, she was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Danny gets embroiled into this plot for this cult trying to track down this little girl, and he has to kind of sum up his shining again in order to protect her and help her. And it's a fantastic production, considering that Stephen King hated the Kubrick film. He hated the original Shining. Okay. I enjoyed the original Shining because I like Jack Nicholson. Shelley Duvall was fantastic. Kubrick was a master. But he didn't like it. King did not like it. But it's wonderful in this one, in Dr. Sleep, how Mike Flanagan, I feel, bridged the gap between Kubrick and King.
Stop reading my notes, JL.
Sorry, yeah, he did.
God,
it's absolutely amazing, and I know.
Stay off my test.
Get off my plane.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. Really, was you've got this amazing, iconic Kubrick film, and then Mike Flanagan is looking at the Kubrick film, the original novel, and then Dr. Sleep, and how to put all three of those together and blend those three pieces of source material and make one cohesive film. Now, there are a couple of sidesteps that happen in the film that I don't necessarily agree with, mainly the ending. I don't like how they took, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, whatever. I don't like how they took the ending of The Shining from the novel and made that the ending of Dr. Sleep in the film. So that was one area in which I didn't particularly care for. But even with the last act was too much. It was too over the top for me, right? So it was a whole bunch of, hey, everybody who enjoyed the Stephen King film, this is what we're going to do. Not Stephen King, I'm sorry, the Stanley Kubrick film. We're going to relive that for the last act of the film. It was cool for a little bit, and then it's just like over the top. It's like, okay, come on, we get it. We get it. We get it. Stanley Kubrick film. We get it, guys. Let's move on, please.
Well, I did think Henry Thomas did a really good job taking over the Jack Torrance role.
Yep.
I mean, he looked like him. It was shocking.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not that I thought it was. I didn't think it was terrible. I just thought it was a little bit too heavy-handed.
I can see that. Would you agree? Just let me pause at this. Because Flanagan, the third act takes place back at the Overlook, and you said that you had a gripe with utilizing the ending from the book as the ending for the sequel to that film.
The ending of The Shining as the ending of the sequel of the film.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, yeah, the ending of, you're talking about the ending of Kubrick Shining as the ending for this one.
No. So if you look at the ending,
of the book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's how Dr. Sleep ends in the film, and I appreciated Dr. Sleep, how it ended in as one of the few ways that Stephen King actually ended a novel really well with Dr. Sleep. But we didn't get to see that on screen because we wanted to see the original Shining ending.
So could that be Mike Flanagan kind of, paying due or giving due to Stephen King, because Stephen King never got to see his original ending on screen.
Yeah, he did.
And not in Kubrick Shining.
No, not in Kubrick Shining. No.
But he finally got to see it in Dr. Sleep.
Well, he also got to see it in the remake in the
television miniseries. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Flanagan did very, very well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Flanagan
definitely
was able to. Yeah, he was able to pull Stephen King back to the Kubrick film, correct some of the things. Like one of the biggest gripes that Stephen King had with Kubrick's film was that Wendy was not the character that he wrote. In Kubrick's film, Wendy was this weak, sobbing, mentally distressed. You know what I mean?
She was strong in the book.
In the book, she was a bad bitch.
Yeah. She was the wife of an alcoholic abuser.
Right. And yeah, it wasn't by accident that she knocked him out in the book. She fucking knocked him out in the book. It wasn't, no, she, you know what I mean? It was very calculated how she went. She hid through the hotel, and got Danny out. Like I said, that was one of his bigger gripes. So it seems as if that Flanagan kind of put a little bit more strength back in the Wendy character, even though she wasn't as, it wasn't, her screen time was not as much as it could have been.
True.
Okay, because I can see that, but I really, really enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed the pacing of it. I can see, and Mike Flanagan, who's just like fucking killing it, just straight up, just fucking.
Especially with Stephen King remake or Stephen King adaptations.
Oh yeah, because his adaptation of Gerald's Game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that had me on the seat. I read Gerald's Game, and the book was kind of like, whoa, this is twisted, and it kind of got me, but the film just the Netflix one just blew my mind.
Yep.
And it
had nothing to do with the fact that Carla Gugino was in a nightie the whole time. Nothing to do with it at all.
Carla.
I'm sorry, Eugene.
No.
Silk Spectre.
But you're right in terms of putting it together and being able to, because Stephen King did enjoy Dr. Sleep. And being able to put those two together, because if The Shining was bad, we would forgot about it a long time ago, whatever. But because The Shining has become so iconic and so quotable and all this other stuff to it, it's nice actually seeing kind of it coming back around to something that Stephen King actually liked. Because sometimes I feel like The Shining is like maybe the bane of Stephen King's existence, because he hates that film and everybody associates him with that film, and it's like he can never escape from it.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like, well, it's there, it's out there. It's just gonna be till the day he dies. People still will be watching The Shining in honor of Stephen King, and so it's actually kind of nice to get something that actually comes around to where he enjoys it, and it has some some a little bit more like modern influences and stuff like that I think just it carries over well. And then and
I really dug that it played the nostalgia card, but not like other things played the nostalgia card. This wasn't a nostalgia piece.
Right.
Going back to the Overlook was definitely nostalgic. And of course we got some epic, the epic moment when, he looks through the very hole that, that Jack looked through in the film. I love that. But they were small moments, and they were played solely as commentary, like nostalgia commentary, until we got to the meat, which is when he goes down to the bar and talks to the ghost of his father.
Right.
I love that it did that. It wasn't he didn't overplay his hand. It was just very much, we're going to go through this as a journey, and we're going to get a little touch of nostalgia, and then we're going right back into what we want. This masterfully paced.
Yeah, that's the one thing that is done, not the one thing, but it's one of the many things that are done really well in this film. It's over 2.5 hours long, but it doesn't feel like it's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And some of it goes quick, because the whole RV scene in the national forest.
That's one scene I shoehorned. I didn't like that scene where
really
we're sharpshooters now.
Danny was good with a gun. Yeah. And his friend was a hunter.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Something about that scene seemed out of place for me.
It felt real. It felt somewhat real to me, because that his friend is a hunter and knows how to use the gun and is good with it. Danny's pretty good with a gun, but he's got a scope and he's got the high ground. Ewan McGregor has the high ground.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because no bullshit. In my notes, I said, is this Stephen King's Star Wars? And I want you to think about it for a second, right? Because we have our Obi-Wan Kenobi, Danny, the Jedi Master, and Abra, the Padawan Chosen One learner.
I like it. And of course, he has the high ground. It came off as very well structured and very real to me, because if you are these people who are doing this, if you take their characterizations, when it comes down to it, yeah, they're evil people and they do what they do, but these aren't people that go looking for high combat. They're not people who get into firefights. Mm-hmm. And typically when people get into, especially overconfident people get into it, or suddenly they find themselves in a situation, they reacted very, very well. And they either ran, they tried to hide, or they tried to figure out what's going on, and they got shot for their trouble. And not every shot killed somebody. It took multiple shots. It felt like it played out very realistically.
Yeah, because you'll have these people that will sit there and they'll talk a big game and all this other kind of stuff and think they're big and bad until the first bullet whizzes past somebody's head. And that's the moment of truth. That's like I'm in control. I can do this. Oh, nope. I'm gonna die. No, I'm out.
Those are bullets.
Eugene, you sound like you speak from experience.
I may have had a few close calls here and there.
It's all fun and games until the lead comes out.
No, it's all fun and games until you enlist.
Yeah, right. Oh no, it's still fun and games. Not your fun, but somebody's having fun.
Somebody's having fun, right? So this is one thing I wanted to talk about with this film. Outside of the relationship between Danny and Abra, which I think, talk about chemistry. Those two characters were the young actress. I can't remember her name. Who played Abra was fantastic.
I think that's Keeley.
Keeley, yeah, she is fantastic, and those two, Ewan McGregor and Keeley, they played so well off each other, and you could genuinely see a caring relationship between the two.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I mispronounced her name. Kylie Curran.
Okay,
Kylie Curran. I think. Yeah. So my bad. So Kylie.
But yeah, that was cool. So outside of that, I think the True Knot characters were a highlight in this film. Rose the Hat, Rebecca Ferguson, was amazing.
Incredible.
Yes. Very, everything was done right with her character. All of her delivery, everything.
You know where I first saw her? And I didn't even realize it was her. Because the character she played was somewhat forgettable, was in the movie Life with Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds.
When they're in space?
Yeah, it was like the space movie where they resurrect a kind of life form from Mars.
Oh, and it starts killing.
Yeah,
them.
Yeah, and they resurrect some sort of alien that has like adaptive evolution.
And it kills Ryan Reynolds pretty quick.
You got it. And she was in that. And I was kind of like, but it was just, but the way her character was, it wasn't as memorable as say Jake Gyllenhaal or Ryan Reynolds. She didn't get a lot to work with, and I'm so glad that she got this piece because that girl has got fucking.
She can
talent.
act.
Yeah,
she really can,
and she's nice to look at.
Yes, she is.
One thing I wish, and maybe I missed it because I kind of watched this quick and in bits, but I missed. Like in the book, there's this great depiction of what she really looks like, what Rose the Hat really looks like, from Abra's point of view. She's sitting in a room, and then all of a sudden she sees this horrific face, this one-toothed monster staring at her in her mirror, because she's finally located Abra. And I guess I missed it in the film if it's there, but I wish they would have given us that visual.
What she looks like if she wasn't being sustained by the.
No, it's like her true form, right? So all these characters, all the True Knots, they're putting on facades in the book.
Yeah.
And then their true form is really this. Stephen King does an amazing job of describing the characters and what they looked like.
Nice.
And the way he described that face, it was just it was creepy as shit. I was hoping we'd get to see something like that because like when you've got the rotting woman in here, which is a constant callback, and how creepy they made her look. I was just expecting, maybe I was just hoping too much to be able to see that, see if they could meet my expectations.
I did really enjoy the the two of them kind of psychically battling it out astrally. I like the astral fighting between the two of them.
Yeah.
Beautifully done, and I love the depiction of that of astral projection and how they did that. Just such a fantastically put together film. Mike Flanagan does not disappoint. I think I first came across his stuff. It was his movie Absentia. His first, I think it was his first big film was Absentia. Which was we've talked about. I don't know if we've talked about Absentia on the show.
Oh yeah, we've mentioned it, but we haven't actually done like a breakdown of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Absentia was really fantastic, and of course, Oculus was great. Hush was magnificent. I know Alex has mentioned Hush many times. That one was on Netflix. That one was fantastic. What about the deaf woman who has the serial killer? Or not really.
Yeah, the break-in, right? It's the home invasion.
Yeah.
And she ends up fucking up that dude's world.
Yes, she does.
Broke into the wrong house, motherfucker.
And then Gerald's Game, and of course, yeah, but the dude is just on an upward trajectory. Absentia, Oculus, Hush, Before I Wake, Ouija, and surprisingly, Ouija, Origin of Evil, which you would think, well, Ouija, what the? But he actually did a really good job in that prequel film.
Yeah,
it was surprisingly.
Ouija sucked.
Yes,
it was terrible.
And then Mike Flanagan comes in, well, let's do an origin story, and it's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, I was going to skip over that one until I saw that was Mike Flanagan. I said, you know what, maybe we should check this out, because my first was Gerald's Game, and that was just brilliant. That movie was fucking great. It has nothing to do with the fact that Carla is in a silk nightie the whole time.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Nothing with it.
Did you know he did Hush, Before I Wake, and Ouija all in 2016.
I was gonna say he did all 1 year.
That's
God
damn. That's working right there.
And he works in tandem with his wife a lot, because the girl in Hush, that's his wife.
His wife's a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kate Siegel. Yeah, Kate Siegel is awesome. She's fantastic. I love her. And so, yeah, God bless him. He did a fantastic job. And I love this adaptation. But that's my question for the audience. We'll kick it over to you guys. Did you enjoy Dr. Sleep as a sequel to The Shining? Did you really, really dig it? I do know that there's some people out there, while this did get a really good commercial response and a critical response, people loved it. There were some people that really didn't. And it's few and far between. But I'm curious about you. What did you think? What did you think of Dr. Sleep as a sequel? Did you love it? Did you not like it? Was it kind of meh? Or did it just kind of blow your mind like it did me? Let us know in the comments, or hit us up at weekendhorror@gmail.com. We'd love to read your comments on the show to tell people what you thought. So definitely hit us up. Johnny, I got you a good one.
You did.
I did.
You did.
It's one of my favorites.
It's November 11th, 2016. The Monster. Very interesting film. Written and directed by Brian Bertino, starring Zoe Kazan and Ella Ballantine. So basically, the story revolves around these two ladies, mother and daughter, which I don't believe these characters is mother and daughter, by the way. They look like sister. Looks like it could be twins. Anyway, so having a detrimental relationship with her daughter, Kathy drives her daughter Lizzie to Lizzie's father's house. It's his turn to have her for the weekend. Lizzie, citing her mother's alcoholism, says that she wants to live with her father, and there's an argument that breaks out. There's an accident where Kathy hits an animal. Looks like a wolf. Was it a wolf? This is definitely not your Jack Nicholson as a monster. So they call EMTs and tow trucks and whatnot, and all of a sudden, this monster thing kills your tow truck driver, kills the EMT, and fatally wounds Kathy. Realizing that her impending death, Kathy tells Lizzie to run for help while she distracts the monster. But Lizzie, being the, pig-headed daughter, says, no, I'm not going to do that, and I'm just instead going to beat this monster to death. Spoiler alert.
That was quite a summer.
We hit all the points. Like I said, I actually did my homework this time and made notes.
Yeah, normally I go with the
yes,
and then shit gets crazy.
Shit gets crazy.
Arms
get ripped off and sucked into the car and all that stuff.
He's dragged under the car or pulled in under it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Better.
So
better,
I'm so glad that we finally got to get to this film. It's a personal favorite of mine. It went into my personal collection. I love this film not just for the really good monster depiction. I love that it was minimalist. It was the creature itself was like all black, except because it was all black except it glistened because it was raining. But it didn't rely on showing you the full thing. There's something very scary in the woods, and it has a shape, and it eats people, and that's all you need to know about this thing.
That's all that really matters.
Yeah, it's all that matters. And I loved the relationship between the work done between Kathy and Lizzie, or Zoe Kazan and Ella Ballantine, who were just magnificent in their role as the kind of abusive alcoholic mother. Mm-hmm. She loves her daughter, but she is broken. She is a broken addict who cannot get on the wagon. She cannot do it. She is dragged behind the wagon at all points. And then her 10-year-old daughter, who is wise beyond her years, who's had to grow up fast because of her mother, and is constantly having to take care of her mother. And we get flashbacks of this. We get these things. And this is what I love, is the importance of full characters. Yes, we can put two characters, put them in the woods, chase them with a monster. That's great. But what about the characters themselves? Why do I give a shit about these girls and what they're going through? And that is the power of full characters. That's the importance of that kind of writing.
Yeah. So when you have that, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And this is what we tell people over and over again: story. Good stories have good characters in them, and they're characters that feel real with it, and giving characters depth, because it's easy for the set up a situation. Oh, well, my mom is real shitty and I want to go live with dad. Or mom's like, oh, well, I don't give a fuck about you, blah. But actually seeing that conflict, because you have that motherly instinct that this is my daughter. But the thing is, with alcoholism is a strong disease. I've seen it firsthand. And it will make you do things that you didn't think were possible. So when you see the interplay between that's what it captivates you. You feel bad for her. And so then, of course, with the way, when you have a film that has very minimal characters, because they're on a highway, they're on the road in the middle of nowhere. So when you have so few characters, every character becomes important.
Right. Yeah, there are only 7 total characters in this film, and the EMT is gone pretty quick, and so is the tow truck driver. And then, of course, the 7th character is the monster. So there's 4 people and 2 that you get the majority of the screen time with. And having a minimalist, I appreciate minimalist horror. It's always been one of my preferred. It's my preferred subgenre in the horror film genre, simply because it forces you to flesh out your characters. You have to have everything about your character. We need to know, and we need to their backgrounds and their motivations and all of that fits inside of this story. And it's like minimalist. If you do it right, and from the bits that I've seen of the monster, it seems to have been done right. Because there's nothing that's just filler. It's all important. It's all interesting, and it's all character-driven drama that really brings you into this film.
Yes, I was the character of Ella and the character of Lizzie, and Ella's performance in that was just. It really was their relationship. It was the depth that they would do. I know one of the things that Zoe Kazan did was that she had, in preparation for the role, she had requested photos from Ella's childhood, because she wanted to identify with her at all those stages, identify with the character at all those stages, and really get into that seat. And then, of course, when you throw something in like addiction, or especially alcoholism or drug addiction, because she's all fucked up in this movie, and there's still those glimmers that she hoped that she could be a good mother, that she wanted to be a better mother, but she knew she couldn't be, and that's what and the fact that after all the action we get that one last flashback where she apologized to her when she's under her bed. And she comes in and she apologizes and says, I know you're going to grow up to be a better person than I am. And I love that. It gives them so much depth. And given that, and I think it really played to the, I think, Johnny, you brought it up earlier while we were talking before the show. It really played into the, I want to say metaphor, or the analogous monster in the woods that she had her own monster.
So whenever I look at this film, I don't see this movie as a monster film like it's supposed to be, right? Like it says it's the monster. The monster, the reason why it's difficult to see let me back this up for a second. The reason why I think the director has the monster kind of in shadows and all black and only glistening here and there. The metaphor is obviously the fact that the monster is the addiction. And that's what's tormenting the mother, and it ultimately ends up killing the mother. And I think that's a very powerful metaphor that's done extremely well.
And I agree with it, because addiction, it will make you do things that you wouldn't even think is possible. And I've had growing up, I've had friends that their parents suffer from alcohol and drug addiction, and you automatically think, oh, well, they're a bad person. They're alcohol, they're drug, they're a bad person.
Right.
And a lot of times that's not the case. That's somebody who's sick with the disease and they're trying.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that it alters your brain so you can't think clearly. So you'll get this moments where the disease takes over. And we tend to judge really harsh on it. But
oh yeah, that scene in the garage.
Exactly.
Whether she's supposed to go to her recital.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
And that's how it is. And that is exactly how it is. You talk to somebody who grew up in a household like that. That's how it is. And so when you have a horror movie, and a lot of horror movies it's a reflection of us as people, right, and who we are, and then it just happens to come out in the form of a monster.
Mm.
Yep.
And I also think it's part of, kind of continuing the metaphor of what's going on. Speaking about the monster and the horrors of alcoholism is usually an inherent disease. If your parents had it, you have it. You have potential to have it simply either by nature or by nurture, right? Mm-hmm. And having Lizzie actually be the one to beat the monster. I mean, the symbolism there of her, conquering that addiction before it ever happens. I think that's extremely powerful in that scenario as well.
Yeah.
That she's able to break those ties at such a young age and be able to stand on her own 2 feet. Because at the end of the film, she emerges victorious from the woods, and then she takes herself on down the road.
So yeah, it's wonderfully done. Mm-hmm. And the fact, that the whole, that's one thing that also got me from a technical aspect, not just the writing, not just the acting, but the whole damn film takes place at night.
Yep.
And what's, and having failed myself at shooting something at night, I wanted to touch on this because it's very, very important. So here we're going to get a little bit technical. That I wanted to talk a bit about the horrors of shooting at night, because shooting at night is a pain in the ass, especially when you're shooting at night in the rain. Even if the rain is fake, there is all kinds of problems when shooting at night. Now, this script, they actually shot this at night, because I know a lot of times people will shoot during the day, and then in post they will actually make it night, which makes things a lot easier, because that means you get better detail in your image, and you're just basically lowering the saturation, lowering the brightness, and then you're adjusting it to look like nighttime, but you still maintain a really crisp image. Typically with night, when you're shooting there, you have a very, very delicate balance between how you're going to light the scene, how you're going to get light to where you want it without overblowing the whole thing and making people realize you're on a damn set. Right. And in this particular film, When the car stops on the road, it's the middle of the night, it's raining outside, and there was one street light that was nearby, but it wasn't directly over the car. So there was one street light that kind of illuminated the area, but there was a lot of shadow and a lot of darkness. And that is to me, looking at that, it was like, that was mind-numbingly difficult to do. I only know, I learned my lesson. I know to shoot during the day and make it look like night. That's easier. But there's some technical stuff in there that is, next level.
Yeah, that is the cinematographer having to plan all that stuff out and knowing exactly which cameras to use. Because cameras, obviously, the better camera you get, the more light range, we're called dynamic range, that you can get. So you can get something really bright and really dark in the same shot, and you'll still get details of both. But it can be difficult because, first of all, overnights are hard. When you're coming in on set at 3-4 p.m. and you're leaving at 8 a.m., you're doing that for several weeks. That's just a brutal beating on their sleeping schedule. And then it's very easy for it to look cheap, to make it look bad, or to make it look like, oh, clearly they have a light over there. They're trying to simulate moonlight, but I can tell that's like a 2K light that they're using. And a lot of films just kind of accept it. Like, you just watch a lot of night scenes that are actually shot at night, and you can kind of like, okay, they're simulating moonlight, but you can tell the moon is never like that strong. This movie technically accomplishes it well because it feels like it's actually at night. It feels like legit night on it. And obviously it's a combination of cinematography and the combination of whoever the colorist was that was able to manipulate the colors to help achieve that effect. And it's very well done.
Yeah, I agree. Being amateur filmmaker, I couldn't imagine shooting at night.
I mean, everything. I think one of the best, and I'm still not 100% familiar with how they captured this, but there's a scene when Ella's in the woods and she has the flashlight, and the way the flashlight caught the rain, and still I'm able to see Ella in great detail. The kind of, how to describe it, the kind of sinister pattern of raindrops on the windshield and the way it worked, when she was at moments when she's hiding in the car. The use of light in this was so important. And I will be honest, beyond my technical expertise, there were just some fantastic. You could say that the cinematographer was as much a part of the characters as it is, because the environment itself, the entire set, plays into everything. Because you're on a single road. It's tight. It's probably 2-lane. It's, very, very narrow 2-lane. You're in the middle. You're in the woods. You're lost in the woods, which could be a metaphor for the human condition, especially an addict, or a lost child who doesn't know how to navigate the world, and stuck in this kind of thing. You can't leave. You're stuck in this moment. The whole thing, the set is allegorical to her addiction. The monster is allegorical to her addiction. Everything played into itself. It played into each other very, very well. And that's master, like you said, like Eugene said, that's masterful cinematography to be able to envision that before we go out there and start actually putting stuff to camera.
Yeah. It really is. And you'll be able to tell on films that don't do it well, because you'll start seeing a grain. It's like a little bit of grain, a little bit aliasing, where there's not enough information in a pixel because it was shot too dark or it's too underexposed. So you'll see that in a lot of indie and amateur stuff where they shoot at night, and it's like, it just looks grainy. You don't get that pure black look. But I don't know all the techniques they use and what they had access to. I don't know what they shot on, but the choices they made were excellent and paid off.
And this is the uncomfortable side.
We figured we'd kick it to you for the CTA.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was deep in the conversation, was really listening, and my screen turned off, and I forgot that it was. So, yes, this is our call to action to you. How How effective was the movie? Did it affect you? And how? Let us know at weekinhorror@gmail.com or in the comment section below as I fucking punch this table again.
Yeah, I've done it too. And they go, oh, no, I did. There's no comments down there. It's on the screen. Keep it on the screen.
Oh, screen. Damn it. What do we got next, Eugene?
Uncomfortable.
This is what we call a hard transition.
That's your cue.
Eugene, I'll give you a signal when it's your turn to talk. Don't worry, you'll know what it is. Eugene, what's next?
Is that the signal?
I think he's talking to you.
Look up here, look up here, look up here. Hey, yo, guys.
And the call to action is, did it affect you as much as it affected us? Pause for one beat. Transition to Eugene. Eugene, what do we have next?
We have a movie that came out.
Jesus Christ.
So,
Let me do the call to action again. All right. So our call to action here is: did it affect you as much as it affected us? God damn. Yeah, I did. I'm telling them faith healers.
Speaking in tongues.
Speaking in tongues. All right, let us know. Did this movie affect you as much as it affected us? Weekinhorror@gmail.com for the emails, or, comment section down below. Eugene, what do we got next?
we got a movie that I know is near and dear to our childhood, and it was released November 12th, 1982, and that is Creepshow.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
Yes, you have.
I was like, leave right now. You're off.
Get the fuck.
You know how we said you're part of the podcast? Take it back.
Yeah, all that stuff we said at the beginning where you could be part of the show. Fuck that.
God damn it! You've lost your special guest now. You've lost.
You're back to special guest. You went from 6 to 0. Now you got to work your way back up.
Shit.
So, Creepshow, it has a slew of icons that we have. It was written by Stephen King, directed by George A. Romero, and it stars Hal Holbrook, Adrienne Barbeau, Fritz Weaver, Barbeau, Fritz Weaver, Barbeau.
That's why we love Eugene around here.
One day I'll get it right. One day, I'm still waiting.
Bullshit.
So we have Fritz Weaver, the great Leslie Nielsen, and Carrie Nye. And basically with Creepshow it's a collection of little stories. Things such as Father's Day, The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill, Something to Tide Over, Verrill, Something to Tide You Over, The Crate.
You let him mispronounce these names.
The fans expect it now.
That's his calling card.
By season 2, this is expected. Okay. Keep my mouth shut. I'm just going to laugh here on the side.
So Something to Tide You Over, The Crate, they're creeping up on you. And it's awesome. I think you should say that something to tide you over. Not to mention it has
Jesus. I like Game better. So bad.
Washing machine jokes, detergent jokes. Where would we be without detergent jokes? I can't even say that with a straight face.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah, and then not to mention we got some work from Tom Savini.
Fuck yes,
man, that guy. I'm going to tell you what my favorite Tom Savini moment in all of film is, but we'll do it later because I want to talk about Creepshow first.
We will talk about Tom Savini, absolutely. And I love this. I love this anthology.
It's so funny.
It's so wild. The fact that all those actors were named, like you said, Hal Holbrook, Adrienne Barbeau, Scream Queen Adrienne Barbeau from The Fog, and just a legendary actress, Leslie Nielsen. Fucking Ed Harris was in this bad boy. Yeah. Very young Ed Harris. E.G. Marshall. E.G. Marshall was the old dude at the in the last one. They're creeping up on you. I love that the everything assembled here is like your fever dream of horror legend. So written, directed by George A. Romero, directing a screenplay by Stephen King himself, with Tom Savini handling effects. It's just, and we got everything. And what I really dig is the reason Savini was brought in was because the entire film was based off of the old comic. Or I would say, would we call that a comic? Was it a comic book? Yeah, it was a comic book.
Yeah.
And the kind of
it wasn't based off of a specific comic. It was based off of a series of comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the transitions, or I would say the climax moments when they do like the colored background and like the the big scream moments. That was all Tom Savini's creation. And taking it, ripped directly from the comic. He wanted to recreate that on the screen. As tongue-in-cheek as it may be today, then it was magnificent. 1982 it was fantastic. So it was brilliant ideas like that from Tom Savini. Effects were from him. And of course, we love Stephen King and George Romero, legendary George Romero, here. The bringing the three of them together, and I wish I could say there was some giant story behind bringing them all together. But this is when you get a solid property, and then you get people really, really interested in it at the time. It was like, yeah, let's do this. And then Romero knew Savini from Dawn of the, or was it?
Really.
Yeah, from working on his Dead series, and then of course King, was the in 1982 he was well into his career and
into his cocaine.
hey, he kept it between the lines.
That he did. Always kept his nose clean. That one.
And so I loved it. We got to see the best of everything. And while I know Johnny disagrees with me on this one,
I do.
Yeah, I know you do because we talked about it before. Stephen King, who is known for doing the kind of Hitchcock in all of his films. He'll be like the shopkeeper here or the pharmacist here. Or, he was, I think in Sleepwalkers, he was like like a priest. Like he'll show up in just these small roles. And I think this was his best performance because he was the one actor. Well, technically there were three actors in there, but he was the lead actor in The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill. But the meteor that comes down and it causes the plants to all grow, and he turns him into a plant monster.
I thought he was bad.
No, you said you didn't think he was a very good actor.
Oh, he's not. He's not a very good actor.
And I think that, and it may be because this part is literally written for the kind of main country bumpkin.
Yeah.
And he just embodied that, the kind of like the main farmer. It's like, I'm going to take the meteor to the Department of Meteors at the college. And I'm like, okay, Jordy, you do you, buddy.
That's how the word works.
And then when he pours water on it because it's too hot, he pours water on it and the meteor breaks because of temperature differential. And the meteor breaks. He's like, oh, it's broken. And then he brings he has the visions, like these childlike visions of him going to the Department of Meteors with a broken meteor. The professor's like, what's anyone going to do with a broken meteor? Who would want to buy that? I was like, come on, dude. I loved how he did it.
Look, so, well, I'll answer that question later. But yeah, Stephen King is not a good actor, but he was good for that role.
I can agree with that.
Top kind of goofy, just performance.
That's Viral look. Always in, always bad. I can't get out of it. Meteor shit. I fucking love it though. He just nailed that role.
Yeah. Nailed it like Jesus.
Send complaints to gmail.com.
Alex will read them.
They send complaints to. Supposed to say send complaints on that one to theplothole.com. What? Yeah, Creepshow was fun. Didn't this have Ted Danson?
Yes.
Yes,
he was in there somewhere.
Yes, it did, and probably of all of them, you know what? There's so many great moments in all of them. I think of all of the 5 that are in this, I actually think because he was in Something to Tide You Over, where he plays, and it was interesting because Stephen King wrote the short story Cat's Eye, and Cat's Eye was always also made into a film. There was an anthology. The framing narrative was the cat in that one, and there was a story of a rich guy who was whose wife was run off with she run off with the local tennis pro, and to get revenge, the rich guy kidnaps his wife's lover and makes him walk around the edge of the building. You remember that? Yep. Yeah. I think Stephen King is not particularly imaginative when he's naming things. He's kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean in that sense, but it was called The Ledge. Is what the title of it was. But the acting, it was fantastic. I thought that was just a great little. This one was very similar with Leslie Nielsen being the jilted lover. The super rich jilted lover, and then burying his wife's lover, and of course his wife up to their neck on the beach, and letting the tide roll in. Fucking Leslie Nielsen playing a bad guy should have been something that happened way more often.
That's one thing that I don't think Leslie Nielsen ever got credit for was his ability to act.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a fantastic actor. But people only seem to remember him for the, of course I'm serious. Don't call me Shirley. And,
yes.
Airplane and
then Naked Gun.
And then Naked Gun. Yep.
But
there were some moments. That dude could do intense.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a look about him. And you think, because you see Leslie Nielsen, he's got the kind of like, the kind of everyman look. He's got the tightly.
Leslie Nielsen is what everybody wants their grandfather to be.
Oh, yeah. The tightly coiffed white hair.
Yeah.
Just impeccably dressed. Very, very professional like that. But the dude had a glare when I saw him in this, that could stop traffic. He could go dark. And I wish we'd gotten to see more. This was written with a bit kind of like a dark comedy because he does make jokes. He does play for the laugh in a very dark way because he doesn't intend for, his wife or her lover to survive. Mm-hmm. That's why you get moments like he's like, no, it's like, no need to get jumpy. They've all gone blah, 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 blah. and it plays for funny, but you can see that he's actually really fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, with their work together, Ted Danson, and the story of how they built that, because obviously we have the epic scene where the tide is rolled in, Ted Danson's underwater, and how they constructed it is really, really cool. How they basically had a plank and he put his head up through it, and they built kind of like an aquarium around him. And then they put, they had a deal where the scuba diver could access it and he could hit the rebreather and then basically be underwater with this kind of like this contraption that basically put his head in an aquarium, which is really, really cool. So going into that, but I think a real standout would be E.G. Marshall. And he was the old guy in there creeping up on you, the German.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Complaining about cockroaches in fucking New York. Upton, I think he was baby Upton
steps
Pratt.
Baby steps in the elevator. Baby steps down the hall.
He was such, and E.G. Marshall did not. I don't think he normally played characters this vile. This guy was vile as shit, and you love to hate him, and you knew that he was going to end real bad for him.
Oh, and it does end really bad for him. Like, really.
Does it?
Is that how you want to go out?
It's so funny. It has to be noted that in that final scene when the room is completely full, I think it wasn't completely full. I think it was like maybe like 3 feet of cockroaches are in this fucking room. And I think just a kind of little behind the scenes knowledge. Most of that was nuts and grapes.
Yeah, they ran about 20,000 actual roaches and then filled the rest with nuts and grapes. Yeah.
Oh god.
Which is just
I see one and I get pissed. Like, die.
It's just a roach. Pick him up, put him outside.
Oh
no,
god,
you kill him. You kill him with fire.
No. This is the reason cowboy boots have pointed tips. So you can get them in the corner.
Look, if you're talking about German cockroaches, you kill
those
one.
are the little guys.
Yeah. You kill one, they all come after you.
Oh god, what do you say? The little German ones are okay. The big fat cockroaches.
Oh, those guys are all right too. You just take them outside and let them go. They'll leave you alone.
No, they fly and they bite and
they definitely fly.
They do fly.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they
yes,
do.
They do.
They fall with. It's called falling with style.
I have been bombarded by a goddamn cockroach on my porch.
You watch too many horror films.
This is true. To quote Rocket Raccoon, this is true. But no, I'm shit you not. I walked outside one time. I went outside because I left my cigarettes in the car. I go to get my car. I go get the cigarettes. I'm coming back in, and sure as shit, there's a goddamn cockroach, a big ass one. Because here in Texas, they make them big. And I got this big ass roach that's sitting on the gutter above my front door. I walk up, and I'm just gonna walk by him, and the sucker jumps down, just dive bombs my ass like he's a goddamn Japanese Zero. I'm like, and I like run back down the walkway, and he goes back up and lands right there, almost the same spot, and just kind of adjusts himself so he's like looking at me head on. I shit you not, dude. That thing kept me out of my house for almost 30 minutes, until eventually he turned his back to readjust, and I was like, run into the house and close it.
It's just, I mean, my goodness.
Fucking freak me out, dude.
You don't say.
But the one thing that we cannot ignore. I want to ask real quick because I went over. My favorite of the whole thing is pretty much something that tied you over. Johnny, what was your favorite entry in this?
That's why I didn't want to say it earlier, because we were talking about how bad Stephen King is as an actor, but it was The Lonesome Death of Jordy. That was my favorite one, just because of Stephen King's over the top. Oh, jeez.
That is awesome. Meteor shit. I'm never gonna get that line out of my head. Just the way he dropped it. That shit was like at least Golden Globe worthy.
Yeah.
And what about you?
My favorites is The Crate.
Oh yeah, Hal Holbrook, Adrian Barbeau.
Yes,
Just tell it to call you Billy.
Well, like how they're like, wait, let's open this. Wait, I see something inside. And of course, what he does, he sticks his hand right inside the crate.
Well, that's what you do when you think there's something.
Oh, of course.
Oh, there's something shiny. It looks like emeralds. I just got my arm.
And then he grabs them, and when the crate tips on its side, grabs them and pulls them right back up. But I mean, I like it because, like, you can see the fact that he actually starts using it when he actually uses it to like kill his wife, kind of thing. Which was like, man, I realize that she's a shitty person, but that's fucked up.
So Stephen King kind of has this thing about killing his characters, killing their wives. I wonder what it would be like to be Stephen King's spouse.
Oh, Tabitha? Tabitha King?
Yeah. Hey there, Stevie. I noticed you killed off another one of your wives in your stories again.
I told you to take out
Why is that?
Told you to take out the trash one time and you killed me in another book.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
He's typing furiously in there. What are you doing?
Nothing. He pulls the axe out and holds it over her face.
Oh, great! Yeah, the crate was awesome. Hal Holbrook was great as just the kind of the beleaguered Harold, good for nothing Harold, and of course Adrienne Barbeau as the oh my god Billy. So, I love Adrienne Barbeau. I loved her in The Fog. I loved her in all the work that she's done, and she was so fucking obnoxious.
Yes, he was.
Oh my, just no good at making money. No good at at work. No good at all in bed. She was just oh my god, she was such a harpy. Oh, she was great. And of course, when the thing gets her, the thing pops out. She's like, and she gets a nice colored background in the back. The thing just like, hey, and then eats her face. And I was like, yeah.
I love what she does with her arms too, because it's not like a lot of times like people sit there and like grab them. Oh, they grab the monster or something like that. She just goes like she has her arms. They're just spread out. It's just like as he eats her face.
Oh, I think it was just like, and that was a badass looking like ape creature thing. That thing was damn good.
Yeah, I mean, that's Tom Savini.
Yeah, that is
that
is Tom Savini.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get to the next one, I'm going to tell you my favorite Tom Savini moment in all the film, and it happens in From Dusk Till Dawn.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Fucking sex machine, man.
Yeah, right. So there's the scene when we get introduced to the sex machine, and we never get a name, and we get everything we need to know about this character just when he uses his bullwhip to steal Greg Nicotero's beer.
Yes.
Right, and the reason why it's my favorite because it's so much. Look, you're still the young pup in the game, because those are two not competing special effects artists by any sense or stretch of the word, but Greg Nicotero was very much still up and coming at that time. Still had his rock star biker look and whatnot, and here's Tom Savini, the established effects guy. Greg Nicotero whips out the knife, and Tom Savini, pulls out the cock gun. I just thought that was amazing. There was more to that scene than just what we saw in that scene. It was you're still a little boy over there. I'm the master.
That is the truth. Yes, yeah. Tom Savini's work has been just it has made. I think it made Creepshow one of the more influential. This was 1982, so we had one of the more influential anthologies horror anthologies to come out, because we've seen the repetition.
I feel like it's me again.
It is you again.
God, go back to my notes. See, this is what happens when I don't pay attention to my notes.
No, I said that. I thought you were going to continue because we've seen the repetition. I was like, okay. I thought you were going to keep going.
Yeah, well. Let's see here, because we already did we're
talking about the influence, just the movies that
so the influence, right, okay. Yeah, okay. All right, so speaking about the influence of Creepshow, it's not the first of the horror anthologies, but it definitely showed how it's supposed to be done. That you can put a whole mess of stories together, and a lot of anthological films came out since, right? Some were good, some not so good. What was the most recent one? That Trick or Treat. That's an amazing one. And you can, I like how Trick or Treat is all one story, like one circular story. Everything. It ends where it begins, and whatever ties everything together. I thought was cool. But Creepshow shows that, hey man, this is how you can tell all these different 5 different stories in one movie, and still be entertaining and still do complete, start to finish. That huge influence it had on filmmakers going forward was amazing to me. I just thought you can't find somebody who does horror films like Creepshow, man. It's amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like people
you see the influence,
especially.
You can see that influence in Phil, like, because it was only like 3 years later we got Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt, yeah, that's the one I couldn't remember. For some reason, I brain farted on that one, but
and then of course Tales from the Dark Side,
right?
And then Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, and so the influence is there, and the smart directors take bits and pieces. You can definitely see the influence there. I love that you brought up Trick or Treat. One of my favorite, probably my absolute favorite Halloween, just fun film that we can sit around and watch.
You know, when I first saw the trailer for it, I thought, man, this is fucking stupid. I'm never going to watch this. I'm going to take a dump on it. And then I watched it because it had the whole cast of characters that were in there. I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool. It's a really, really good film.
That werewolf transformation scene is pretty boss.
Yeah.
And Anna Paquin can devour me any day.
Yeah.
I'll let her devour you. I still remember. No, it's just because I remember her. I remember the. Oh God, it's Spike Lee joint. What is the name of that movie? The 11th Hour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And Anna Paquin was in there, and she plays this underage. Or she plays this high school student who is overly sexual with her teacher. With oh Jesus, I can see his face. Died of a heroin overdose. God, played Capote.
Oh, Philip Seymour
Hoffman, right?
Yeah,
so plays Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's puts an amazing performance in this film. But the whole thing is that she's like always flirting with him, but she's this underage high school student, and eventually it turns out where he corners her in the bathroom and like kisses her, makes out with her, and then she looks all freaked out and shit. So that and then the look on his face, that I don't know, for some reason that just like seared into my brain. So every time I see Anna Paquin, that's what I see.
Damn.
Wow.
Like teenager girl who got fucking violated by her teacher.
Damn,
I see just Rogue.
Yeah.
I see True Blood at this point. She's Suki to me.
Yeah. Weird how the brain works.
But I did. You could definitely see the influence in various other horror anthologies, especially Trick or Treat. I love that there was a bit of an homage there, and didn't steal directly from it, but you could tell that the work of Romero and King and definitely Savini.
Well, yeah. So Trick or Treat starts with that whole comic book look and ends with a comic book look, just like Creepshow. So yeah.
I'll teach you to take away my comic books. Like he's saying fucking Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins as the asshole dad, who's in the movie, I think, less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And just kills it because
he's fucking Tom Atkins. That's why.
When he slapped it. And in fact, I always love that he smacked that kid across the face. And that kid had a handprint on his face.
Yeah.
Like pretty much the entire movie.
Yeah.
I'll teach you to throw away my comic books. Stabbing him in the throat with the voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good stuff. Definitely good stuff. So we sat there and we talked about some of our favorite entries in Creepshow. What I actually want to ask the audience is, which one is your favorite entry in Creepshow? Is it something that tied you over, Father's Day, the crate, they're creeping up on you, or the lonesome death of Jordy V?
Where's my cape, Bedelia?
I may not have said every single syllable, but they got the point.
Yeah. You telling me.
But yeah.
It's not your fault you can't read.
I never learned to read.
I knew that was coming. I knew that Wade's Rule was coming. Is that true? Well, yes, everything but the reading part. I don't mind.
It says Academy Award performance on the bottom.
Yes.
Definitely let us know what's your favorite entry in Creepshow. Shoot us an email at weekinhorror@gmail.com or put it in the comments below. And JL, what's our last movie for this episode?
Yeah, we got one more, and this is a special one, for me. So we're going to look back a little bit, not as far as Creepshow, but we're going back to the '90s, the mid '90s, and this released November 14th, 1995. The movie is Castle Freak. So directed by one of my favorite directors, the late Stuart Gordon. Rest in peace, but loved his work, especially because he was a big fan of Lovecraft, as am I, and written by Dennis Paoli and Stuart Gordon himself, who typically worked on the scripts that he would be directing, starring the always excellent Jeffrey Combs and Scream Queen legend Barbara Crampton, along with Jessica Dollarhide and Jonathan Fuller. The plot follows Jeffrey Combs' character, who is an alcoholic kind of, d-hole, who inherits a castle when a kind of, distant relative dies and leaves it to him. This is the start of many horror films, and why he wasn't aware of this, I'm not sure. When you don't know...
Wait a second. Eugene, aren't you at a place that was in...
Yes. I'm not sure Eugene even has a cousin.
So, for those of you who know, I'm in the middle of nowhere at a lake house, surrounded by woods. Allegedly.
So, but yes, his character John travels to Italy with his estranged wife Susan, played marvelously by Barbara Crampton, and their blind daughter Rebecca, in a very effective performance by Jessica Dollarhide. And they plan to stay at the castle, but unknown to them, there is a monster, a really nasty one, locked down in the basement of the castle, and it breaks free, and shit goes fucking insane. I loved it. I absolutely love this movie. I enjoy a lot of Stuart Gordon's work because he loves H.P. He loved H.P. Lovecraft as much as I do. He brought I think I would consider it, he mentored brought Brian Yuzna in for his vision, especially in the Reanimator series. I adore this one because it is everything that I love about 90s horror. It's Lovecraftian. It is gruesome. It's got great visual effects. It's got a great monster. It's got, the right amount of TNA. Just a lot of fun. It's just a really, really good, scary just movie. And what's really shocking, what blew my mind, is that this fucking movie was produced by Full Moon.
Yeah, I mean, they usually bring us the classics like the Puppet Master, but this one was a more serious film. I'm still not sure how serious I would call it, because there do seem sometimes there are some times in the film that's a little over the top. It doesn't have like the Reanimator quirky silliness to it, but there are some funny moments. Well, not funny moments, but there's some quirky moments in it. But still, definitely a lot more serious than the classic Puppet Master series.
Or I think they do Demonic Toys as well, right?
I believe so. Yeah, there was a whole shit ton, but the one for me was Puppet Master because that's, that's kind of I guess they started a streaming service or some shit or some club, and then hey, we'll give you a Puppet Master 58,000. Join.
Join now and make your own Puppet Master movie.
You're right, exactly. You too could make a Puppet Master film, probably as well, if not better than we did.
We had nothing but love for Full Moon Entertainment over here.
I kid the Puppet Master peoples, because those movies were fun for me when I was growing up. I was a little kid watching, like the fucking leech lady vomit leeches.
Oh yeah, in his mouth. Yeah.
And of course, everybody loves Blade, and
right.
dude, they did come out with a new one, the newest one.
14.
Which one?
Number 14.
Yeah. Where it focuses on Blade himself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, that one was actually quite good. They swung it around because it was getting really campy and silly there for a bit.
Oh, for the the first two were. I mean, the first one was a little campy, but it was trying to be serious until I guess they showed it, and the audience was like, "Dude, this is funny." And
Unintentionally funny,
right? Instead of taking it on the chin, be like, "Damn it!" No, they was like, "Oh, yeah, we wanted it to be funny. Here, let's show you 13 other movies that are funny."
Yeah, I have to say they started turning it around with Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich. Yeah. And then the spin-off about Blade was really, really good.
Yeah.
But this one surprised me because obviously, known for the tongue-in-cheek stuff, Demonic Toys, absolutely silly film.
Yeah.
We have with characters like Jack in the Box, stuff like that. With campy horror, you don't take it seriously horror, let's laugh at it. In the vein of like Ginger Dead Man and Evil Bong and shit. It was nice to see Full Moon pump out a really decent horror film. That was a touch of everything. It was it's a monster movie. It's Jeffrey Combs just doing just eating the scenery, just as Jeffrey Combs does every time he's on the screen.
That guy's doing everything.
Oh yeah, and of course, really decently, or I would say very decently written. Stuart Gordon knows his material because the film itself was based. I think it actually took inspiration from from two, because he was also a big Poe fan as well.
Yep.
And Poe was a big Lovecraft. Poe was really dug Lovecraft's work, and it was the Rats in the Walls, The Outsider, both H.P. Lovecraft, and some elements of the Pit and the Pendulum. He had taken some influence from the Pit and the Pendulum, which he had previously shot, I think, in the same castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like there's a little bit of like Frankenstein's monster kind of riff thing going in there too with the actual monster itself?
Definitely. I could definitely see the Shelley influence there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I
got. That's it. The end.
Well, I'm glad that we got to talk about this because despite we haven't got a chance to bring up Reanimator on the series. Reanimator here on the show, and we haven't talked about other films like Dagon, which is a really good one. But we do get an opportunity to talk directly about Stuart Gordon, and unfortunately, we get to talk about him, after he passed away. It was just narrowly. We wanted to wish him happy birthday, but he passed away, so it became an in memoriam. And I loved Stuart Gordon. I've seen all of his movies. I dig, and while they're not the greatest horror films, horror
they are.
Yeah, they're fun. They have that horror has that elasticity where it could be serious or fun or campy or whatever. We can accept that. And
see, that's an important thing that some of the horror aficionados they'll thumb their nose at some of the more campy stuff. Like you need to have that fun section of horror film that's just fun to watch.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be serious. It can be over the top, silly, buckets of blood, or you gotta have it. You gotta have, because it's entertaining. It's entertaining. Whether or not you have to sleep with the lights on after watching it, that's irrelevant. Did you have fun watching it?
And you're right, because I sit there and I'll tell people, if you take the entire horror genre, there's only a small section that's actually like, we're going to try to scare the shit out of you as much as possible.
Truly terrifying.
There's just a small section, and it's like most horror out there, it's meant to be enjoyable. Where it's fun, because you look at like the Reanimator series. The Reanimator series is fantastic. It's so good. It's so gory, so much gore on top of that. But it
dude,
come on.
But you have it.
Headless. It's got a
yes, I was about to say. With the head is in the fucking tray and talking to him and shit. And I'm like, okay.
Well, no, I was gonna go farther than that. You got a headless zombie eating out a woman. I mean, come on. And I just killed it.
I thought you were going to go farther than that.
Did we lose you?
Yeah, no. That's what I said. You have the headless zombie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That. And so with horror, you have to be able to enjoy all of it, and that's something that Stuart Gordon, I felt focused on. He wanted to make movies that he enjoyed, and it showcases that. It really is. I mean,
he had fun making his movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I wish I'd gotten to see him. It was obviously way before I was born. But how he got his start was in controversial experimental theater.
Interesting.
And given his vision, given his cinematic vision, I would have loved to have seen his theatrical vision, like what he puts on a stage. That is something that I would dig that, because he loved elements of horror, he loved elements of science fiction, he loved film noir, all kinds of stuff. And to imagine that mind dealing with the stage, and of course the limitations of working on a stage, so many things that you can't do that you could do in a movie. And I would have loved to see him in the trenches as a director with something he'd written, just working actors, just and it would have been mind bending. As a live performance in front of a live audience, I would have loved to have seen some of that stuff. But yeah, I adore him, from and the fact that this is so crazy because he's because we've got Reanimator, right? We've got Castle Freak and From Beyond, another one with Jeffrey Combs, which was really, really gruesome. And then of course he's also Robot Jox. Yep. And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yep.
I love the way his mind worked, and I enjoy every time I watch one of his films. I enjoy him. I wish he'd gotten to do a lot more. I know that he had plans, but yeah. So really, and of course, and what I could recommend if you're not afraid of creepy dolls was the movie Dolls that he directed. Yes, that one was a freaky little movie. So, but it's dolls, and I know there are some people there who have legitimate fear of dolls.
Some people can't do it.
Yeah, and this one, if you can't do dolls, don't watch this movie.
I had a coworker that was deathly afraid of Cabbage Patch dolls.
Wow,
really?
And of course, this is when I worked at a certain toy store that is now defunct. So you can imagine how much fun I had with this lady. I used to put them under her register whenever she would go to lunch or break.
That's mean.
This one time I put two of them in her trunk.
That's just mean.
That was so much fun.
And for those who dig the Masters of Horror series, he also did 2 episodes of the Masters of Horror series that aired on Showtime. He did Dreams in the Witch House, also a Lovecraft adaptation, and of course The Black Cat, which was a Poe adaptation. So really, really great stuff. I love Stuart Gordon, and I love talking about his work. And I can't wait till we get to more movies. Like I can't wait till we hit Reanimator, that trilogy. I can't wait till we do that. I think we talked about Reanimator 3.
Yeah, we talked about the third one, but I know for a fact we haven't talked about the first 2.
Yeah, I know. I think we talked about the third one with Cassie.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Was it Cassie? It was with a special guest.
Yeah, because she was like, she stomached it, or she tried to stomach it. Yeah, she tried.
Yeah, she tried to stomach it. So, but great stuff. That's one thing. And one thing that's really, really cool is Castle Freak came out in 1995, but there was a remake done of this movie. And I actually, this kind of snuck up on me because there wasn't a lot of press behind it. And just like when Castle Freak came out, Castle Freak was made at one of Full Moon's one of Full Moon's lowest points. They had almost no money coming in, and they needed something. And Castle Freak was released in 1995 with absolutely no fanfare, no real marketing. It just kind of dropped Castle Freak. And it was just one of those deals, kind of very similar to Trauma, where they can just drop a movie and, just on the very scant amount that it generates, they're able to keep, Trauma afloat. And so same thing with Full Moon, they were able to do this. And this film got remade, and it blew my mind because I was like, holy shit, they remade Castle Freak. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look that up because remake. So on April 15, 2018, it was announced that Cinestate and Charles Band would be producing a reboot of Castle Freak. And Barbara Crampton was going to reappear.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yes. So that was really, really freaking cool. So Barbara Crampton was going to be back in it, and Tate, I'm going to mess up his name. Tate Steinsiek was going to.
That's Eugene's gig. I asked that you return that to him and stop.
That
writing his coattails.
He did work on Clash of the Gods and The Amazing Spider-Man. But he was going to direct it. So he was going to direct. Barbara Crampton was going to appear. And so Crampton gave a hint that this film was going to feature a kind of expanded Lovecraft universe, which is music to my ears. And then they were going to take some elements in the first film. They're going to do new stuff for this film. And the premiere was supposed to be in Chattanooga at the Chattanooga Film Festival in April of this year. But the log allergy happened.
Yep.
And so now we don't know where it's at. There is no news about this thing. I can't, aside from up to April 16th of this year, up to the Chattanooga Film Festival, I can't find anything on this thing. It has not been released. It's nowhere on VOD. I can't find it. And I'm chomping at the bit waiting for this thing.
Maybe it was shelved.
You can't shelve Barbara Crampton.
But you can. And it looks like they did.
They better not have. But I'm hoping to see it.
For what's going on right now, they might have shelved it. In a different way for release.
I myself, I can't wait to see it. But that's what I want to ask the audience. Castle Freak is one of those classic, 90s horror films directed by the late great Stuart Gordon. And I know many of you out there have seen it. But did you know that there was a remake out? Did you know that they had done it? And are you also looking forward to seeing it as much as I am, as much as my co-hosts are? Are you looking forward to checking that out? Let me know. I want to know. I want to see if we can generate some buzz on this thing. So let us know in the comments below or hit us up, weekendhorror@gmail.com. Remember, Alex loves to get your emails. He is very, very lonely, especially now that he's married.
That means he's extra lonely.
Yes. So if you'd like, and I just kind of popped that news. I know Alex is going to tell us all about it when he comes back next week when we do our bloodbath. But yes, Alex was taking this time off because he is down in... Where the hell did he go? Did he go to Austin?
He went someplace to walk the plank.
Yeah, he went someplace to take the vows. So yes, he is coming back he will be coming back a wedded man. That's the funeral dirge, but they both start the same.
Exactly.
I think that was intentional. I think. But yeah, so when Alex comes back, he'll have a story to tell. But definitely let us know. Are you looking forward to the Castle Freak remake? I know I am. We want to hear if you are. So. That's our films. But Johnny, we've got one birthday this week.
We do. Let me see. Let me Eugene this up.
Don't. There's only one way you can screw it up.
You would think that.
You would think that. But born November 10th, 1960. Neil Gaiman.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, I got it right. Look at that.
So this is the second time that we've wished Neil Gaiman a happy birthday on the show. An English author of short fiction, novels, comic books, graphic novels, and all kinds of films, audio, theater, nonfiction books. Most widely known for his Sandman series, but also the Mind.
Is his Sandman series the same one that produced that shitty movie?
I don't think there's been a Sandman movie yet.
Yes, there has. Maybe not based on his.
No, not based on his stuff. No, I think they are currently right now putting together. Adaptations of the media. So, hang on a sec. I think
it was 1995 is what I'm thinking of.
I think it's been courted multiple times.
Yes.
But I don't think it's ever been. Yeah, there was a project that was in development hell since in 2001. And Neil constantly stated that he'd rather see no Sandman movie than a bad Sandman movie. And I think now there actually are. They are doing it. There is a series that's in development with Netflix.
Yeah, this one was called The Sleep Stalker or Sandman.
Yeah, that's not of his, no. Because because in his book it's about Morpheus, the King of Dreams, and various other characters, like Lucifer and various other gods. But really, I love his stuff. The biggest thing that I'm really a huge fan of was American Gods, because I'd read American Gods before it was turned into a series. The series on Starz is amazing. The dude has just been influential all the way from Sandman, Mirror Mask. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
No, I haven't either.
I haven't.
Yeah, Johnny, your girls would love Mirror Mask. Highly recommended. Think of it like The Labyrinth for their generation.
Might scare the shit out of them.
I don't think it's that scary. But, obviously, you should watch it first. But I think your girls would absolutely love it. The dude is a legend. Deeply inspirational to me. From with especially American Gods, Good Omens. So
yeah, absolutely. He wrote some of my favorite Doctor Who episodes. He wrote the Doctor's wife.
Oh
yeah.
I totally Louis Space and he'd work on Doctor Who. I hate Stephen Moffat so much that I really do. Ever since the Christmas special, whenever I think of Doctor Who, I always just focus on David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston. David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, a little bit of Matt Smith. David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, and it's pretty much what I focus on. Maybe a little bit of Pertwee. But yeah, I loved Doctor Who, but then fucking Moffat just pissed me the fuck off. So that's awesome that he wrote on that show.
I just didn't like Doctor Who, and that's how you kill that show.
Well, thank you for listening, everybody.
We're gonna edit this. We're gonna edit this and expand. I'm gonna put some fucking crickets in there, or I'm gonna put that chick with the bell. Shame.
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 No, I just could never get into it. I tried. Even when I was a kid, my brother watched it religiously. I sat down looking at it thinking, man, this isn't Robotech. Can we watch Robotech?
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, but such fantastic work. And I love that his stuff is getting adapted at a time when the technology can bring his vision across, because he's known for writing very much in a very illusory style and writing with illusion. And it's a very difficult writing style. He's very, very good at it. But because of the poetry of how he writes and the poetic vision that he has, it's very difficult to adapt this stuff for screen. Mirror Mask was fantastic because there was a lot of money and a lot of extremely talented puppeteering and special effects companies that went into that. So Neil Gaiman ensures that what we get is the best that we can get as far as adaptations of his work. You can see that in American Gods. You can see that in Good Omens with, David Tennant. There's my man. David Tennant and Michael Sheen, whose excellent work is there. And I can't wait. Coraline, everybody, most kids know Coraline, that he was behind that. And of course, I love Stardust.
That movie was fucked up.
Yeah.
Coraline was kind of fucked up, yes.
That was not really a kid's
Coraline
movie.
was dark.
Not at all. That's a movie about a little girl who's contemplating suicide.
And, of course, Stardust. Stardust with, and then the movie adaptation of that with Claire Danes, Robert De Niro, and Michelle Pfeiffer. I love that, especially, Michelle Pfeiffer is the head witch. That was fantastic storytelling. And if you ever get the opportunity to see it, there was a BBC series of Neverwhere, which was really good.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I highly recommend that one. It was a 3-part miniseries, and strongly recommend. I don't want to spoil anything on that one because the characters are brilliant. Think of it kind of like inspired by Alice in Wonderland, but strongly recommend. Yeah, definitely check out Neverwhere. It was a production on the BBC some time ago. Definitely check that out. But I'm so glad we got to talk about Neil Gaiman. I love his work. He's such an inspiration to me, especially in my writing. And I want to wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Neil.
Happy birthday, Neil Gaiman.
All right.
Oh, we're done
Oh,
already?
I know. It's so sad.
Oh, I forgot to hit record. We have to do it all over again.
Don't you put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
I'm double checking. Yeah, okay. Double checking.
Yeah. And then we got outside.
Like, yeah,
fuck around, dude. We have pulled a double header. We've pulled 2 episodes in one night, and
that was rough.
That was brutal.
2 episodes at the same time.
Yep. The kind of podcast that would upload with a dude like
me. Oh, well, all right then. I don't know how to segue that.
Just like fucking shoehorn that.
I'm like,
I just love how he's trying to find his pace there. It's brilliant.
I'm like, 2 podcasts double up on me, and I'm like, so thank you for listening, everybody. We'll leave you right there.
Check, please.
Hello, my ragtime gal. But you know what? We always have so much fun here, and we could not do this without you. So thank you so much for listening.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're talking to the listeners.
I was talking to y'all too. Oh, we have listeners?
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Hey, thank you. I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that boost.
I feel better about myself.
You're welcome. And so, also, if you like what you hear here, you want some more information, go to our website at weekendhorror.net. Right?
I'm sorry, Eugene. That's my bad. It's just that here. That's all. I'm sorry. Do it, man. Do it, man. Close the plug. Close the plug.
All right. Okay. I got to warm up. I got this. Bunk bed.
Teeth and lips. How now, brown cow.
Remember, you gotta get a seal with the lips. You gotta kind of open your throat.
Open your throat. Take the gravy shot.
Oh God.
Yeah.
See, I went Super Troopers. He went, OnlyFans.
Yeah. Jesus.
Come on, Tropic Thunder.
You're gonna goggle mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah.
You see, that's good for our listeners because everybody knows Johnny knows that he hates mayo. But now that I have conflated mayonnaise with sperm.
Just hammers that point that mayonnaise is disgusting.
Was it Tenacious D, Pink Destiny? You're gonna goggle mayonnaise? No.
It's like that scene in was it Van?
Where the one guy's like, I've had this before.
Oh fuck me! Oh shit! Oh god, that fucking bulldog! God, the balls on that fucker! All right, man, we got
okay. All right, so
take it home. Let us know how much we love
the
them out
two
there.
people that are still listening after all of that, thank you so much for listening. Hanging in there. So go ahead, check out our website at weekendhorror.net. And all you gotta do is click, go ahead, fill out, subscribe to the email, right? And it enters you permanently into a contest where we send out a mystery shirt every single month. Also, we will not spam you. So it's just a chance to keep you up to date on what's going on with Weekend Horror. And you get a mystery shirt that's going to be awesome. So definitely go ahead and check out our website, weekendhorror.net. We're always looking for feedbacks, comments, questions. You can email us at weekendhorror@gmail.com. Alex is coming back from his honeymoon, so feel free to bombard him with as many questions or comments or concerns as you want. He also takes complaints too, so go ahead, just send them his way. And then also on top of that, if you visit Facebook at facebook.com/weekendhorror or Weekend Horror at Twitter or twitter.com/weekendhorror. I'm trying to focus right now. And you can get I'm hanging
You're doing
in
great,
there.
bud.
And you get a chance to actually on our Facebook page and our Twitter get our daily splatter. It's a little bit of horror knowledge every single day. Just a little bit tidbit, a great way to start your day off. So you can sit there with your coworkers and go, guess what happened with Reanimator? And then you can show them really gross pictures. It's awesome. Your coworkers will love it. And then also on top of that, we have started a Discord community. So go ahead and check that out. We post memes, we post trivia. You can actually interact with us. We post on there, all this other kind of stuff. So there will be a link on our website. And if you're watching this on YouTube, all you got to do is just scroll down and click right on that Discord link right there. Get access to inside the Weekend Horror community. And you know what? Speaking of YouTube, we have a YouTube channel up right now at youtube.com/weekend horror. And so we're getting our past episodes up there. We have our new episodes that drop every Wednesday. And so get a chance to check that out. Also, we'll have some links for guests and we'll also have links to the plot holes. So you can also bother. We can also bug Johnny O for a little bit too. So a little bit of there we go, a little bit of drop right there too. And then finally, if you like what we do, visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/weekinhorror, where we have our Bloodbath and our After Dark, right? Our Bloodbath, where we use our horror expertise and we take two horror icons and battle to the death to see who will win. And we're going to be recording another one soon. You get early access to that and also early access to our After Dark, where we sit down with our special guests for the month and we just talk horror films. How they feel about the horror community, how we feel about the horror community, and it's just a chance for us to shoot the shit with them. So definitely check out patreon.com/weekinhorror, and you can donate as little as $1. And do you know what? We also understand that times are tough, so if you're unable to do that, that's no big deal at all whatsoever. But we do appreciate on things like YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button, because like we said earlier, you subscribe, like, and comment on our episode, you get a chance to win the Trivia Pursuit Horror Edition. So you definitely want to get in the running for that. So thank you so much for hanging in there. I'm Eugene.
And speaking of our patrons, I want to take this opportunity because this has been an amazing time. I know that times are tough out there, and I do want to give a special shout out not only to our newest patron, Gavlar, the Hand of Zod. You are the man, and we love you. Thank you so much. Gavlar, the Hand of Zod, Mike Barrett, Jessica Gutierrez, NANA, Kyrie, Jose Alaldi, and Alexis S. Thank you so much for all of your support. You've helped make this show better, and we aim to make it as good as we possibly can by bringing you the best in horror entertainment every single day, and we can do it with your support. So definitely, thank you guys. And if, like I said, we know times are tough. You can support us by liking and just sharing the show and just listening to the show. That is above and beyond amazing. Those who are able to go a little bit further, you got patreon.com, or you can hit us up at our brand new one. If you want to do something like one time, you can hit us up at our brand new PayPal, paypal.me/weekinhorror.
So definitely go check that out. We thank you so much. And I'm Eugene.
I'm JL.
And we'll see you next week. And as always, stay scared.